Plaintiff Rayford Connolly Jr. says he dated the defendant's mother when he was 16, and she got pregnant with the defendant. At the time, she told Rayford he was the defendant's father, but when she was 8 years old, she said another man is her father. Rayford still believes he is the defendant's father, so he petitioned the court for a paternity test. Defendant Kavina Phillips says growing up, she had no idea who her father was, and she felt like she'd been abandoned. As a result, Kavina became a crack addict when she was 23, and due to her addiction, she lost custody of all 4 of her children. Kavina is eager to find out the truth today, once and for all.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
You've petitioned the court for a DNA test to see if you're Kavina's father?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right, so why don't you give me some background?
When I was 16 years old, her mother and I had a relationship that went over a year. During that time, she was conceived. I was led to believe that Kavina was my child. When she was 8 months, we had took her on a trip to Mississippi, my family and I. And when we returned back from Mississippi, her mother told me that she was not my child, that she was actually named after her father, which his name is Kevin. She named her Kavina.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not making fun of it, and it's not really funny. That's something to be told.
Yeah. So,
And then what was your reaction?
initially hurt. I mean, because my family and I had accepted her as my child. We took her, we kept her on the weekends. My mom kept her.
Up through what age?
Up until 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what happened from there?
I eventually moved to Mississippi in 19...
Did you stop immediately with the communications and the visitation?
I did.
Yeah.
In 85, I moved to Mississippi. I came back to Chicago in 88, where I ran across her mother again. And me and her visited for a spell. Not one time did she say that this was my child. Not one time did she mention her Kavina at all to me. So in my mind, that this is not my child. So I left that situation alone. Now, over the years, I have tried to find her on Facebook just to see what kind of young lady she turned out to be. Okay, Thanksgiving of last year, she reaches out to me on Facebook. I accepted her friend request, and the first question she asked me was her father. And I explained to her, as I just stated to you, that her mother said I was not her father, that she was named after her father, which is Kevin.
All right, young lady, what do you want to tell me?
Well, growing up over the years, I felt abandoned.
By whom?
By everybody. My mom would tell me that it was between Rayford and Kevin.
How young were you when your mom first told you that?
As early as 4 years old as I can remember.
4 years old?
As early as 4 years old. My mom told me of a time when I was 2 years old that I supposedly had seen him, and I told him he wasn't my father, which, you know.
At 2?
That's what she told me. I can only...
You did what? She said at 2 years old.
And I told this man he wasn't my father. This is a memory that she has...
Conjured up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So pretty basically I felt abandoned. I didn't have a father to go to. She always told me that, oh, my boy's got a father to go to and you don't. And I'm just looking like, oh, he don't, you know, don't nobody care about me. One time, me, Kevin, and my mom were in the car together, and she finally came and told the truth that Kevin wasn't my father.
How old were you?
I was like 12.
And did it go as he just described? You all stayed apart until last year when you all reached out to each other on Facebook?
Yeah, at the age of 23, I turned to drugs. I led a life of destruction. And I'm writing a book to, you know, maybe inspire people that has been in my situation.
Good. What type of life did you live? What?
23, I was addicted to crack cocaine. Been in the Department of Corrections 4 times for theft, violence, drugs. I have 4 children of my own who I'm currently trying to get back out of DCFS custody. Been 6 months clean. I'm a full-time student. Been in rehab. I got a good man who encourages me every day. And just not looking back.
All right. right, well, good. I'm glad to hear you got 6 months clean, and I encourage you to continue. You don't want to write a book and then
Go back.
yeah,
it was
6 months
bad.
is a pretty short time. Did you know this? Did she tell you this?
Yes, she told me that she was struggling with addictions. And, it's more of a reason why I'm reaching out for her, for her to have some sense of identity and support.
Okay.
I'm a man. I have 7 other children, and I raise all of my kids. I would not have abandoned her.
In your household?
Yes, they
You had
in
7
Mississippi.
children
I have
in
7
there?
kids. They all grown in Mississippi. They all in their own home,
Okay.
But I raised all of my children. They
7
never-
by the same mother?
No, come on.
How many? What do you mean, come on? It should be. You act like that's a strange concept. Yeah, there's people who have 9 kids. I know of many families who have 5, 7, 9, 10 children. So don't give the impression, sir, that somehow is a strange notion.
No, I didn't mean it.
All
under
right,
that.
I mean,
You're absolutely
you
correct.
playing into this
I have 4
stereotype,
baby
man.
mothers.
That's why I'm coming down on you.
Okay.
Playing into this stereotype. They got a bunch of baby mamas out there, and they're all on welfare. He had all these 7 kids by 4 different women. He can't spend time with all 7 of them. That's the type of stereotype that is reinforced when you act like it's unusual for a mother and father to raise several kids in the same household. Come on, Judge, you know better than that. Where you come from? That's unheard of.
All right.
No, it's not, sir. I'm sorry I got to come down on you, but I got to clean this up. You messed it up. I got to clean this up. All right. So, proceed.
I watch you every day, and I know how you're going to be.
All right.
This is not a shock. I accept it.
Good enough.
All right.
All
But,
right.
no, I have 4 different baby mothers.
Okay.
And 4 was in the household, and the other 3 was weekend kids.
Okay.
But I took care of them.
All right. And you did see them often?
Yes, I did, every weekend.
And the mother, when is the last time you spoke with her mother?
I spoke with her mother in November, right after her and I...
How about prior to that?
1988.
Wow.
1988 is the last time I had any contact with her.
She never asked for support, financial
I
support?
have not heard anything from her since 1988.
What has been your communications since Thanksgiving? What has that been like?
We do Facebook conversations. We have had phone conversations.
Pleasant?
Not as regular,
No
but,
tension?
Excuse me?
No tension, accusations?
No.
She didn't say, Dad, you abandoned me, you're no good. You didn't say, I heard you was on drugs, what's your problem? None of that? Good.
She asked me, and every time that we talk, a majority of all the times that we talked or communicated through Facebook, it was the fact of how she's doing, things of that nature, and to reassure her that I didn't abandon her.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say? You want to say something to him in open court, perhaps?
Thank you for accepting my friend request, and thank you for my Mother's Day gift.
Okay. No, thank you for accepting this thing to come to Judge
And
Matthews.
may I say one more thing? In my mom's defense, because it's still my mom, she was a good mom at the end. She just didn't know how to handle emotional situation between me and my father. But she's did a good job to the best of her ability.
Good. I love to hear that because a lot of women struggle. I love to hear that. A lot of women struggle for a variety of reasons, and they have children, and I always encourage the children. I always say to the children, because I get young people a lot who say, I can't stand my mother, she wasn't no good, or I can't stand her. First thing I say, have you ever forgiven any of your friends when they cross you or betray you? Oh, yeah. A lot of times. There are a lot of friends that cross me, yeah? And we stayed cool, though. Okay? Well, don't you think your mother is due the same type of forgiveness as somebody on the street? So, that's what I always say, and I'm glad to hear that's your position.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
It's good that you said that, because I went to my son's graduation yesterday, and he didn't even want to speak to me. So I'm glad you said that. I hope he sees this and...
That's right. Or you tell it to him. Now, lastly, we're going to go and get the results, but sounds like you were interested and therefore you want to be a father. And whether he's the father or not, I think this would be a good part of that book. I think you'll sell some books. After overcoming your obstacles, you tracked each other down to see. You still weren't sure. I guess this is your
This is my mom.
All right, what's your name? What do you want to tell me?
What I want to tell you, add to what my son has said. Well, all those children weren't your biological children. He, in the relationship with a lady with children, he stayed there. He was there as their father. They accept him as their father. They love him. Like, and my son, in his defense, he's not perfect like none of us are. If he had known that this child was his sweetheart, Calvina, I'm sorry for saying this child, Calvina was his, he would have been there. He had been there for the one that was here and one that wasn't here.
I believe
that.
that.
He have loved him. Them.
I believe that.
This is the man he is.
So why don't you let Mr. Conley take a look and, yeah, Mr. Conley, and...
I'm your father.
Wow. There you go.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't.
I love you, sweetheart. I would always be your grandmother. You can always come to me. You would never have to worry about that.
I'm happy. It's over with. I done probably embarrassed myself on TV, but I don't care. I got a daddy now.
Sweetheart. No.
I have a daddy.
And you have a grandmother.
And a grandma. A real grandma.
That's right, baby.
Thank you.
I'm just satisfied that our 33-year quest is finally answered. That
And we
now that I
loved
know
you from
that
the
she's my
beginning
child.
because we used to keep you all the time.
What more
we
can I
took you
ask
to
for?
Mississippi.
You know, so-
You was our little dog.